This morning, President Obama is unveiling a new series of executive actions meant to curb gun violence. Part of those plans include expanded background checks for private gun sales and more government funding for mental health treatment. We'll have more on today's developments from the White House later today on News Channel 5. Law enforcement continues to quietly monitor the armed occupation of that Oregon wildlife refuge this morning. John Blackstone has an update on the anti-government protest.
This began as a peaceful protest. It took an unfortunate turn when some of those folks broke off and began an armed occupation of the Malheur National Wildlife Refuge.
There was not a single law enforcement officer to be seen for miles in the wilderness that surrounds the Wildlife Refuge headquarters. But Harney County Sheriff David Ward had a message for those occupying it.
You said you were here to help the citizens of Harney County. That help ended when a peaceful protest became an armed occupation. The Hammonds have turned themselves in. It's time for you to leave our community.
They refuse to say how many have joined the group they call Citizens for Constitutional Freedom. They're demanding an inquiry into why ranchers Dwight and Stephen Hammond were ordered back to prison for setting fires on federal land after they'd already served prison time.
It has been left to us to decide whether we allow these things to go on or whether we make a stand.
But many in the area who support the Hammonds oppose the occupation.
It's so imperative that we find ways to address these issues that are peaceful, that are legal, and that are productive. So that kind of leaves the occupiers out.
John Blackstone, CBS News, Burns, Oregon.
A father is now facing charges for the accidental shooting death of his 5-year-old son. Police say back in November, Robert Turner was using the laser mounted on a gun to play with the family cat, but forgot to put the gun away. That's when a sibling picked it up and shot 5-year-old Andrew Turner. The little boy did not survive. Turner is charged with criminally negligent homicide and reckless endangerment. He'll be back in court next week. Donations worth thousands of dollars are stolen from a Salvation Army warehouse. The thieves broke into the facility on Dick Buchanan Street in Laverne, getting away with sofas, refrigerators, air conditioners, and other furniture. Most of those items kept at the warehouse were meant to be taken to the Murfreesboro location. That store just reopened 6 months after heavy storms ripped the roof off, forcing the location to shut down. Now, if you have any information that might help with this investigation, call police.